Look, I don't recall much of the detail of the game. As I said, I've probably never really sat down and watched this video. I recall up to about half time it was fairly tight, but in the third quarter, which was our way during the year, the third quarter was what we always called our premiership quarter, and that's when we really...
Well, that's the way I remembered it, and that's the way Milo remembered it.
Yeah.
But no, in fact, it's not the way.
It's not the way, okay. Well, I should watch the
video.
Let's
have a look.
Goal scorers up to half time in the game, which sees Angaston leading 13 goals 7 to Freeling 7 goals 2. David Hayes has 2, Peter Hine 2, Stephen Malloy 2, and Kim Lehman 2. Singles to Kleinig, David Argent, Russell Galing, Kim Obst and Peter Cameron. For Freeling, Zirk has 1, Wharton 2 and Peter Zweck 4 goals. As the bounce down to start the second half, Angaston first into the attack through the agency of Russell Galing. Steady ball, runs centre half back, and that Freeling player body over the ball gets a free kick. Elects to play on fast, looking for Bradley Wharton. Overruns the ball. Richard Miles scoops up the ball quick to Michael Falkenberg. Michael Falkenberg, low pass. Peter Cameron over the top to Russell Galing. Handball across the full forward lines. Sees Asher in all sorts of trouble. Handball's off to Graham. Swamped by Falkenberg. David France against the tide. David Argent on that left leg. Hooks around. Looking for Peter Kleinig. Peter Kleinig's got 2 to beat. Ducks the chutney, but holds the ball in the air. Tano Barillo, good desperate tackle by Kim O. Sees the ball over the boundary line for a throw in. Kane's in ruck for Angaston. MacArthur for Freeling as the high ball goes forward. Simo under the ball, looking for Zirk. Sets Richard Miles up, but they back up Peter Hine. And is penalised for duck on the head. Zirk, the recipient of the free kick, is looking for Scratch McKay over the top. Grant Humphries goes for a bit of a run, dribbles one along the line, looking for Moston. David Hayes concedes ground, almost selfish play as he elects to go back. Good shepherd by Kim Schmidt, a long handball over to Malloy. Side steps, goes for a bounce, and a long kick forward, looking for Peter Cameron in front of the Angaston trainer's box. Heads across the centre and finds David Argent. David Argent, very fast young player, hooks around that left leg. Kim Host makes a determined attempt to mark, but the ball beats him over the boundary line. And the throw in. Sees a hurried kick by Freeling. And David France against the tide takes another good mark. David France swings the ball around looking for David Hayes. Handballs across to Richard Miles. Forced to kick hurriedly. Peter Cameron takes a sound mark on his chest. What a mark in that situation, with the ball up very high. Beautiful kick off the boot, but offline for a minor score. Long kick out by the custodian for Freeling. A superb mark by Freeling player. Freeling go for a run with a series handball. Simmons takes a good mark, plays on looking for Malloy. Malloy quickly onto the left, finds Richard Miles out on his own in the wing. Walks the player, heads across centre looking for Peter Camo. Camo didn't mark. Smother off the boot by Hine. Falls on the ball. David Argent is there, and too many players for Lesky to sort out. Good control of the ball at this early stage of the third quarter. James Lenke gets the ball out quick. David Argent. Handball's on. Freeling batter up. Richard Miles playing loose. Man behind. Dodges his opponent, sends him in long, looking for Peter Kleinig, his cousin. Peter Kleinig caught behind that time because a free kick away for interference in the back. Mickey Arms heads off to Collier. Collier called a play on by umpire. so Toad Smith races out. They swallow up Nicky Graham as Zweck hooks around and finds McKay and hold a half-forward flank for Freeling. McKay heads across ground, only to find Richard Miles in the true centre-half back position. Silly play, might lose the ball, but Richard Miles gets the ball back to Keynes. Keynes are swallowed. Keynes gets a quick handball out to David Argent. David Argent paddles the ball around in front of him, hits the ball out in front, only to find Asher pick up the crumbs. Asher, chased by Gayling, heads the ball across to Johnny Both. Across to the Freeling forward line player in Edwards. Loose ball at the back of the pack and rolls through for a behind to Freeling. Grant Humphreys looking for leads. Chooses that outer side once again, the defensive side. Perkins up high, couldn't complete the mark. Dives on the ball, paddles it forward. It's a Russell Gayling, gets a quick kick to the forward. Ball's not out of bounds yet, and now the umpire says it is. Conditions prevailing over there. Keynes with his big frame gets the ball down to Peter Hine. Peter Hine passes off to Richard Miles on that outer side wing. Short kick out, looking for James Lenke. James Lenke was harshly penalised for holding the ball, but the umpire says in the right position as the ball was passed off to Barilla. Tanad Barilla sends the ball down. Grant Humphreys holds the ball in there. Loose ball. Kim Schmidt got 3 or 4 to concede, and well done Kim Schmidt for hitting the ball out of those hands of the 2 Freeling forward line players. Grant Humphreys comes to this grandstand side for the first time today. From Stephen Malloy, and Stephen Malloy fires above the pack, couldn't complete the mark. Recovers to have to go back and get the ball. Hit out the ball. Finds Brendan Starrick, Keynesy. Heads forward, but only finds Johnny Both in the way. Both heads to that outer side. We're out on his own is Marsden. Marsden got time for a bounce, double-handed bounce, and short kicks over there looking for Edwards. Edwards right on that forward flank boundary. Beautiful kick off the boot. The umpire makes a lot of ground and only registers 1 point. Freeling go to 7 goals 5, trailing Angaston 13 goals 8. Grant Humphreys elects to go short this time. Finds James Leckie. James Leckie kicks it, almost collared. Took 1 step too long and paid the penalty as Freeling clear the ball. Ball players up before acceptances. Kim will lean it. It's a ball around, hooks it around. And Grant Humphreys takes a superb mark under extreme pressure by McKay. Grant Humphreys. Russell Gayling. A bit of weak umpiring there with a decision like that, as but the umpire's in better position to us here at the commentary position as Zirk gets onto his wobbly old screw punt. The 2 easiers have come out of the forward lines of the Angaston then, as we see Zweck line up for what could be his 5th goal. Beautiful kick off the boot. The umpire doesn't move in the goal square as Freeling register their 8th goal and Peter Zweck his 5th. Bounce down. Keynes in ruck. Against MacArthur. MacArthur got the benefit of the bounce. Grant Humphreys charges the pack. Richard Miles handballs to nobody in particular. Jack France gets the ball on quickly onto his boot. Wobbly ball to pick up. James Leckie back onto the cover. Handballs loosely out again, under pressure. Peter Cameron left to him, out to Dak France. Peter Cameron has received the benefit of the free kick as Dak France was in all sort of trouble against his opponent in Mickey Arns. Peter Cameron heads to the centre. looking for David Hayes on a long lead. Collier, equal to the occasion, handballs off to Wharton, who's got away from his player the last 10 minutes or so. Looking for Edwards in the forward pocket, flanked by Greg Simmons. Freeling register a goal as two Angaston players collide in the forward line, and Freeling are making a comeback.
4 goals down.
Yep.
They kicked 3 goals to 1 in this quarter, which is not what I'd remember.
Yeah, okay. Actually, my recollection was that it was a fairly easy last quarter. We just sort of played out time, basically, but probably not so.
Freeling made a few moves at half-time, bringing Zirk out centre forward, and this could curb the brilliance of Simo, who's had to go back to the full-back line to line as we see Freeling cramming the ball around. Keynes.
They're on a bit of a roll here, aren't they?
Awkward decision. Freeling, a very professional football club led by former Central Districts player in Mackay with a superb kick off the boot. Greg Simmons, the recipient of the free kick for a ledge push in the back.
Simo again.
Handballs off to Perkins. Perkins, the short kick out.
So it was the premiership quarter, but it was really the defence that was holding up.
Oh, okay.
Because you're under all sorts of pressure as we see.
Yeah. Well, our defence had been pretty set all year. We had the same sort of 6 most of the year, I think. So, and we could interchange and that happened a lot of the day. We interchanged on players a lot of the day. I actually started the game on the wing. The player that I normally took was Zirk was his name, and he started on the wing, and I'm not sure what the ploy was to unsettle the back line or something like that, but I played most of the first quarter on the wing.
So you didn't mind that?
No, that was fine.
But you had Bruce Evans down there.
Bruce played back pocket from recollection on the big forward called Zweck. And stood him very well, kept him fairly quiet from memory. Yeah.
Well, Bruce could play.
Yeah, he was a very good. He was one of those younger players coming through, and a very good player. Yeah,
captain of the undefeated under-17s team of 1980, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. Was a bit of history that I noticed in Anthony's book.
Yeah, right.
But he had that bit of, good skills, Bruce, but he had that bit of height as well.
That's right. Yeah, and complimented, as I said, Greg Perkins in a back pocket, and Brenton Starrick, I think, played in a back flank, who was a real dasher. Simo at centre half back, and I can't recall who was the other back flanker at the time, but yeah, but it was a fairly set 6 for most of the year, which helped us.
The half back line for.
And Brenton Starrick was just a good.
Yep.
A little bit of flair too.
Could have actually been Stephen Malloy.
Yeah, I think you're correct. I think you're absolutely right.
Takes a strong, good mark over Keynes. Carter's had the better day on the ruckman today. Fine athlete. Beautiful deliberate pass, looking for a lead. Pull. Small by Malloy. Run by Peter Kleining. 2 bounces. Forced to go wide, but now kicks left, along with his left leg. Only to find Heinrich take a relieving mark. Forced to play on. Schluter. Handball's on. Quick kick away. Finds Peter Cameron in the true centre position relief for Angaston. Feeling to come back with fuller vengeance in this third quarter. Ball out. Russell Galing trying to get the ball away. Plenty of pressure on. Graham looking for Les Mostyn. Mostyn draws the player. Good play by Perkins, sees the ball up. Richard Miles to the agency of Hunt. David Hayes with a second good mark in front of Collier. David Hayes too far out to score. Acute angle. Looking for somebody to mark the ball in the goal squares. Kick goes into Russell Galing. David Argent forced to handball over the back. Peter Hine forced to go in and penalised for holding the ball.
Peter Hine played a good game.
Yeah, Hiney was played a very good game that day, and I think most of his finals he played fairly well. Very good player. Again, an in and under player. Could only kick about 30 yards, but he always had that ability to rubber that kick in or get that kick in and move the ball forward. And he got the ball. That was the main thing, you know, and you'd push it forward by any means from there on. You could read Heine after that, and I think our players could read Heine. So yeah, no, very good ball getter.
Deadly in that forward line at that stage, but Peter Heine ducked ahead, so the rule was there. As Freeling elected to change sides. Peter Cameron in front of his opponent from Freeling. Across the ball from Peter Klein, across the Dak France. He's run down by Wharton. Hectic play on that outer side. The ball players dive on the ball, and the umpire has no alternative for another bounce down. This time I'd like to take the opportunity to wish Andrew Baldwin all the best, who's having a bit of a spell in the hospital with
fractured cheekbone, I think.
Yeah, that's really bad luck because he...
Yeah, Andrew's one of our key players all year, and unfortunately I fractured his cheekbone from memory, and yeah, it was awful. It was an awful injury, and missed the finals. And I think it was only a game or two before the end of the, might have been the last game of the year even. Missed the grand final because of that. Yeah.
We hope all the players are putting that little bit extra for Andrew on an occasion like this. Ball's been.
You remember that time that Peter Cameron got down on his knees and...
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
You do remember that?
Yeah, it was at Angaston. Yeah, Baldy took a hanger, and it was a bit like the day that Jazelenko went down and clapped to Barry Robran when he took 3 bounces and dodged 10 blokes and kicked a goal. It was a similar thing to that, yeah.
Just boing.
He goes straight up, couldn't he?
He just goes straight up, bang on the chest, and then Peter Cameron out in the flank there. Saluted him, fantastic.
Freeling relief from the forward line. Kane's behind the play. Mickey Schluter, hadn't caught him much during the broadcast. Cut to Mickey Graham, back to Schluter. Schluter with a low trajectory pass finds his work on the fast lead. Zweck, head short once again to Schluter. 3 touches as he's run down the road. Handballs across to Zweck. Forced onto his left leg. High kick. Should land in the goal square. Edwards over the top of the pack and pulls down a screamer in the full forward pocket for Freeling. Another goal to Freeling, sees them go to 10 goals 5, Angaston 13 goals 8, as Freeling make a strong charge back at the start of this third quarter.
But you seem to have lost your way a little bit.
Yeah, that's right. I thought it was the second quarter, and then I thought probably 5 or so minutes into the third quarter, I just thought we'd sort of just about put the game beyond doubt. But obviously we must kick a few goals towards the end of the third quarter or bang some on in the last quarter.
Do you remember what you were thinking or feeling at the time?
We were probably starting to be a little bit, 50-50. And yeah, I don't know why. It wasn't the fitness, because I knew we were fit enough. We'd worked really hard. So yeah, I don't know why. They obviously picked up. I mean, at half time they've won 3 premierships, so they've come out wanting to play a big third quarter.
You may be showing a little bit of inexperience here.
Yeah, possibly. But we had guys, not really, no, because most of us were mid-20s. So we'd played and we knew what to do. Perhaps it was a bit better here for a few minutes. And yeah.
You remember any instructions coming out from Tokshu?
Well, I actually, in the second quarter, I went back into defence because I think they got 2 or 3 quick goals, and just the matchups, I don't know what it was. And I wasn't very happy, but you do what you're told. So, or was it the third quarter? I don't know. I'm not sure. Second or third quarter, and then I think we restructured and got basically our starting side put back together again, and then we kicked away. So.
Falkenberg up against MacArthur. Falkenberg the tap, down to Malloy. Asher. Ridden into the ground by Falkenberg, and once again Freeling go into attack.
Troy,
Mickey Schluter.
Yeah. If anything, you'd probably put money on Freeling to actually probably win from here.
Possibly
With 3 behind them and coming with this sort of momentum. And there's what, 3 goals in it?
yeah, still only 3 goals.
Angaston starting to get the professional
You'd back McKay from here.
until that last siren.
As a kid, I remember playing association with him, and he was fantastic. Like, he was taking marks all around the ground, kicking 60 metres. Beautiful player.
As a teenager.
Yep.
Strong kick of the ball is McKay, beautiful and straight.
Had he kicked that one, that would have been
very interesting.
Not mind to score the result. Let off for Angaston.
You see, the breeze is definitely going south, north, and north. And that's why I'm not sure whether I won the toss, because I don't think I would have kicked against the breeze. Not in the grand final. I don't think you could afford to.
Yeah. Still, we kicked 7 into it. That's
well, yeah, maybe.
smart bloody decision if that's what you did do. Called an eccentric genius for
Whether
that.
the breeze changed or not.
Leader takes a soaring mark over Simmons out on that far wing. Swings around on his left leg with a high kick. Grant Humphries into the big fist. Peter Cameron, handballs off to Peter Kleiner. Peter Kleiner drops it at the critical time. Handballs off to Grant Humphries, backing up well and playing well. David Argent in front of the pack. Tries to hit the ball around the back. Get another run at for goal.
Busy is how you describe Walter.
Yeah, Walter, he was busy.
Playing his first A-grade game in the finals. Long high kick. Finds Peter Cameron in centre half back position. Take the relieving mark for Angaston. Peter Hine on that outer side, takes a mark. Passes off. Looking for Richard Miles. Steadying play down. Trying to regroup. Collier is penalised for running over the mark. Bring Richard 15 yards closer and should land the ball somewhere in the vicinity of the goal square.
The whole 15 yards there for you.
15, yeah. 50 would have been handy.
Beautiful kick off the boot, going to land in the square. Scratch McKay there. Freeling read off hands, too many players are up. Comes out this side, looking for Bradley Wharton. Bradley Wharton nose over the ball, clears back France with a long kick.
That was a good mark.
Takes a timely mark in front of Leonard in the true centre half forward position for Freeling. Freeling look very promising when they go forward. Asher straight in off the ground, off the bench, and takes the mark. Asher looking for Zwick. Malloy. Handballs off to Russell Gayling. Russell Gayling hooks the ball around. David Argent has to go to the fist. Brings the ball to ground. Collier over the ball. James Linky there. Kane's against McKay. McKay the tap, but Peter Hine reads the ball better. Heinrich in front, Tim Lehman.
Walter. Nice handball. And you know what that was? That was a left foot drop kick.
Is that right?
Yeah. And none of us picked it until later on.
To make a bit of a steadier for third quarter effort. The 23-minute mark with Angaston's first goal for the day, for quarter, as from the centre scrimmage. Sees Nugget Graham get the benefit of the free kick.
So, and he told us afterwards, and then of course we were all watching and make sure, and it was just as because he was right on the line.
Yeah, yeah.
So just a little left foot droppy.
Yeah.
Head for home, looking for help above Peter Hine. Playing a good game today, Peter. Out wide, looking for Russell Gayling, and finds him with a good mark in front of the scoreboard. Pass to Bruce Evans, who takes a good mark in front of the Angaston box. Bruce Evans, deliberate kick, looking for Kim Lehman. Kainsey from behind couldn't complete the mark. Peter Cameron, good tackle in there. Russell, Peter Kleinig, nose over the ball. Cainsey, quick kick over. Only to find Johnny Both relieving the back line. Johnny Both on that outer side. Goes across, looking for Wharton. All legs and arms, but too good for Dak France. With a beautiful pass across that outer side. Perkins is infringed and given Schluter the free kick. And repels with a free kick and will deliberately lose the ball, and for a report like should be reported. Cold-blooded, there's nothing in that for a reason to get up and hit a man like that. Across to James Leggy, handballs across to Peter Cameron. Peter Cameron has a bounce. Forced to go wide, but hooks the ball around, only to find Johnny Both. Freeling player drops the ball at the critical time. Johnny Both comes to this outer side. This near side, sorry, looking for Graham. The run's on. David Hayes, a real race horse. High elbows, Mostyn, run down by David Hayes. Forced to kick quickly as Bruce Evans and Toad Schmidt go for the ball, and Tim Schmidt. Bruce Evans in ruck now. Umpire unsided, but been happening all day. Now picks one out as MacArthur gets the free kick. MacArthur with a long kick finds Perkins. No talking by Perkins and Schmidt as they collide. Quick kick by Grant Humphreys. There's a couple. Reflex action as Freeling regroup. Pressure by Richard Miles. Well back done by Richard Miles. Brendan Starrick. Called to play on by the umpires. Meany goes on that outer side. Has the luxury of one bounce. Peter Kleinig putting the pressure on. As the play goes down the forward lines for Freeling once again. Two Freeling up. Peter Hine comes stumbling out of the box as Lena goes back for a kick. Long kick in, true goal square position. Simo, sound as ever. Takes the mark and passes off to Richard Miles. Almost a sloppy key handball as Peter Cameron is taken out for the head-eye tackle. And silly play by Captain Richard Miles, then saw that ball in the stalemate in the half-forward position for Freeling. Time to steady in a case like that, but no talking possibly. It's easy up in the grandstand as Bruce Evans gets up high. Peter Cameron breaks the packers, Grant Humphreys. Make sure that it's out of the Freeling area as the charges down the line of the ball. Three-quarter time score sees Angaston 14 goals 9 to Freeling 10 goals 6.